Today on Dirt Road Cred, an absolute ton of Jeep news is here. A brand new color is available to order on the 2026 Wrangler on select trims, as well as the fact that the 2026 Jeep Gladiator has just launched. You guys are not going to want to miss this video. If you've been looking for the updates, especially on the Gladiator, this is the one to watch. Stay tuned as we break it down on Dirt Road Cred Jeep News. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's finally time. We've got some pretty good Jeep news coming out from our friend Anthony down at Sands Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. But before we get into what's going on with the Jeep news, there was some other cool things related to the Jeep. Just recently, I sent a screenshot over to Ryan. Ryan, you might have even saved it. Jeep was offering a 1-month free trial for their in-vehicle Wi-Fi service. Now, it's something that I kind of forgot about. I knew some of the vehicles were equipped with it, some didn't have the Wi-Fi antenna. I believe it is run through AT&T, but there was a code like Labor Day or something where you could get a free month of it just to try it out on your vehicle. And that brought me up with a lot of conversations. You know, how many people utilize the Wi-Fi service in their Jeep? And then secondly, while we were sitting down at dinner down in Tennessee, Justin, a great friend of the channel, insert photo here, Ryan. Yeah, Justin, a local karaoke star, and he was talking about, he runs a Starlink Mini on his Dodge Ram. He has a 2500 Power Wagon, but on the Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator vehicles, it's quite tricky to mount. The hoods are not magnetic. The top is either a soft top or a hard top, and there's not really too good of a mounting location unless you have a roof rack and there's kind of all sorts of brackets. We just picked up a Starlink Mini, and we are designing a mount for it that does not have to utilize anything and is a permanent mount. We've seen magnetics, we've seen all sorts of other things, but let us know if that is something that you guys use. Would you be looking to use a Starlink Mini for overlanding, for camping, just for having that service while you're off-grid in case you need to contact someone? We're working on something, and I think you guys are going to like it once we release it. But regardless of that, when you are off-road on the trails, we wanted to thank today's sponsor, Onyx Off-Road, for providing you the ability to download offline maps. You simply select a grid on the application, download the offline map, and even if you do lose service, as long as that's downloaded onto your phone, you are ready to go, and it can still track you as you're driving. Onyx Off-Road has been a huge supporter of this channel. We love what those guys do over there in Montana, and we wanted to thank them for once again supporting us and for all of their great applications and services that they have built into their off-road map. To save a little bit of money, you can use the discount code down below, and thank you, Onyx Off-Road, for supporting this channel. Let's get into the 2026 Wrangler. So we talked about that a little bit in the past. The order banks were open. People are starting to order them, but it was kind of a soft launch, to be honest. There was really no marketing on it, not really much going on, and I believe that's because of the new Cherokee. They didn't want to overpower that. They wanted to launch that vehicle and kind of just push the 26 Wrangler to the side, which surprised the heck out of us. One of the new colors that we had talked about launching was the PHT paint code Purple Rain. According to Anthony, that is available right now to order on only the Rubicon and Rubicon X trims of the 2026 Wrangler, and it comes in at an eye-watering $895. But if you want purple, that's your color option. So purple is available right now to order, and I would say that once they do a full launch of the 2026 Wrangler, I'd imagine it starts trickling down to the other trims. But Ryan, I actually can't recall, was that available in other trims back in 23? I think the Sahara's got, I saw Sahara Purple Rain, but I don't know if all the trims got. I don't know if I can recall a Sport Purple Rain. Have you? So let's, if you guys have one, let us know down below in the comments. But the one thing we were a little bit curious about was the Rewind edition that we saw down in Daytona. Was that Purple Rain? It looked very close to it. It might have been a little bit brighter. Ryan, maybe you can pop up 2 shots of when we saw it in 23 at the Detroit Auto Show versus that 25. But I do really like that color. I think especially a Purple Rain 2026 with a brand new grille, brand new features in that will really pop, especially if they take some nods from the 90s and do maybe that Rewind or the Splash Edition that we just checked out yesterday. So we'll have to see what they're doing with that. But the other thing that was really neat that they actually just released, it seems like Mopar is fighting against each other because every department or like company seems to release things that aren't really known. So they released the video of how to do the quick release door hinges, and it was kind of just like I anticipated. It was a small stud that goes in just like a cotter pin on a trailer. You pull that out and it releases it instead of having to use a Torx socket to pull the bolt out. So Ryan, the video is live. It was like more of like a CAD rendering, so it's kind of like very animated, but I think it's pretty cool.
We'll test it once we see.
We'll test it. Yeah, it was a very unique cotter pin style that goes over it, but I do like the fact that you don't have to use the tools anymore. I think maybe that'll change them from including a toolkit with to just having this, and now you don't really need tools to get the doors off besides the pin locks underneath there. So
Hard top bolts.
yeah, maybe they'll still include the toolkit. Hopefully. I think maybe this is just an upgraded feature and something that, I mean, it wasn't too time consuming to do, but it does make it quick just to pop a cotter pin off. But now people are going to be losing the cotter pins. So either way, I think it's really neat. It's a pretty cool design, and I'm just glad to see Purple Rain at least is launched here. I'm not sure what the build process or what that timeline looks like, and why the heck there is absolutely no marketing on it. I'm kind of thinking like Jeep's like, just launch this stuff. Dirt Road Cred will talk about it and get everyone into it.
I think we'll see it in the next week or so.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's...
What if they do the rewind? I think they should. I think they absolutely should.
Yeah, do some sort of retro pack, but right now it's just nothing.
It's just purple. Yeah, you could order the purple Rubicon. So if you want one, if you've been waiting, that's pretty neat. Coming from a 23 to a 25, you get wireless CarPlay, the whole new interior, whole new grille, all the other features. So pretty cool. If you guys are looking to upgrade, it is available for that right now. But the real meat of this video today is the fact that the 2026 Jeep Gladiator is also just now available to order. That one kind of came in the darkness of the night, and there was still absolutely no marketing about it. Not really even, there wasn't even a post on Stellantis on anything, but we were given confirmation by Anthony once again. The order guide is available, the order banks are open, and I think he actually in fact placed a few orders already for them. Now, what's interesting about the 2026 Gladiator is that right off the bat, following suit for the 2026 Wrangler, is the fact that the prices have come down a little bit. This is obviously very dependent on what trim you get, what options you choose, this and that. If you haven't seen kind of our breakdown of that, I highly suggest watching the 26 Wrangler video as we break down a ton of the options and what really has increased and decreased to get a better feel for it. Build it out the way you want it, give Anthony a call, and he can price it out exactly for you. But I'm very curious as to why with the 26 Gladiator, all this big talk at these meetings and stuff, there's nothing that came out, at least from what we can see. I'm not sure if maybe they changed anything on the exterior, because right now it's just an order guide, but from what we can read in that, 3.6 liter is standard, and the automatic is standard, and there's no other options. So no 392, no 5.7, as of right now, and that's kind of what it is. So we're getting...
No manual?
No manual. There's no manual on the order guide. Not at all. Not even listed. I think on the Wrangler it said late availability or something. But on this one, it just says 3.6 liter automatic 8-speed. That's it. So you get the 3.6 with the 8-speed on the 2026. Now, the trims that are available are going to be the Sport, Sport S, the Texas Trail is returning, which is kind of like a high tide Willys mix. It reminds me of. The Willys is available, the Mojave, Mojave X, Rubicon, and Rubicon X. Pretty much matches the 2025 lineup. From what I can tell, power windows are standard on all models across the board. Ambient lighting is not standard on the Sport, Sport S, Willys, and Texas Trail. So unfortunately, while that does not have the ambient lighting, just like the 2025 Juice that we have, you still have the option to get the 2-wire kit. So when the doors open or the dome light's on, you've got a beautiful amount of color down below. But it just seems surprising to me that Jeep's not making things standard across the board. Now, our opinion on the 2026 Gladiator, I was expecting a lot more. I think, Ryan, you were as well. Just something. You know, even Anthony broke it down. Mojito was available, 41, Anvil, all the standard colors. And then on the Gladiator forums, it shows a Purple Rain cutout. So it does say that Purple Rain's on one other slideshow, but then Anthony couldn't confirm it on the back end or the order guide. So maybe that was just something that was...
That'd be cool to see it on the Gladiator.
A Purple Gladiator? You know, the other day I saw a Tuscadero Gladiator, and I forgot they even did it.
Yeah.
That was such a quick time frame. I saw it down in Tennessee, and I was like, is that... I couldn't even remember because that was, what, 2 months you could order that? And honestly, it didn't look bad on the Gladiator. I think purple looked good. I really think the gold color would look pretty neat on a Gladiator. Now, being that the prices have come down a little bit, I say they were starting to compete with the 2025s, but guys, if you're looking at a Gladiator right now, some of these 2025 deals are absolutely insane. These Jeeps have been sitting on lots for a long time, and I would say if you're looking for that, that would probably be the way to go, or order a 2026. But everything from what I can tell, besides Anthony said mud flaps are now an option, but that's really...
Sold.
Yeah, sold. We'll take 18 of them. But that's really that's really the breakdown of it.
Unless they just release something that we're just not seeing yet.
I mean, we're about to drive down to the dealership right after we film this. Ryan's going to edit in the Jeep, and we're going to talk to Anthony, see if there's anything on the back end that might allude to something else. Maybe there's a body code, maybe there's something, but man, not even Extreme Recon, not even the XR, not like, I feel like the Gladiator has been starting to sell more, and that's what Anthony said. Sales were through the roof. They've been selling them like crazy. So it seems like people are now getting interested at a lower price point for the Gladiators, but what's it going to take? I think you got to release something. I think they should have started with some new colors. I don't know. I'm very upset with that. I think that the new colors should have launched with them, and maybe they'll do it with a press release, but why make the order banks available then? It's a bit disheartening. I mean, we're not disappointed. I'm glad to see. The one thing I have to say, we're glad to see it sticking around.
We're Gladiator to see.
We're Gladiator. Yeah. We're Gladiator. Oh my God. But either way, I thought like there was rumors that the Gladiator wasn't going to continue, or that there's no 4xe Gladiator either. There was nothing on that in the order guide. Remember they were talking about that?
There's no 4xe yet on the Wrangler.
No. I don't know if that's, who knows?
Or they're holding off.
Maybe they're going to, maybe they'll do the Recon. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, we did. Yeah, we talked about that 4xe, and like I said, we're curious about this launch style that they're doing. I don't think it would have taken them much to do a proper launch with the order guides open. You could have came out to a shop like this and filmed it and done an order release guide and all that. But yeah, so the 2026 Gladiator, it is available. You can order it right now. So if you have been waiting, it's available with some caveats, just that there's not too much besides a next model year. So I know that is important to a lot of folks, because why would I buy one model year old when I can order a brand new one, 2026, in front of the Jeep Gladiator? So that's what we're curious about right now. I'm going to go check my phone. Anthony was going to try and do some build outs for us so we can see some pricing of what some of these trims might look like, kind of just MSRP wise. All right, guys, so we got some emails here. Let's break it down. The first one here is going to be a Gladiator Sport. The only options that are added was a white clear coat, which is $0. These are very bare bones. This MyFlex service plan keeps coming up. I don't know what it is, $170, and it's on every build that he's sent us. And then the all-weather slush match, which I think that's also one of the things that they're just required to add on. MSRP with destination if you're in the lower 48. Hawaii, I read on the order guide, makes you pay $50 more. I'm a little bit upset with that, because it's probably a lot cheaper to ship it from Toledo to Central PA than it is from Toledo to Honolulu, and they only pay $50 more than we do. So I think the destination charges, that's one argument I've always made, they should be relevant to what zone it's being shipped to. But then it would also hurt dealerships in other zones, because if I could pick it up for $1,000 less in Ohio, I would go there. So, but either way, the MSRP comes to $41,695 for a Gladiator Sport, a 2026 in white. Go next to a Sport S. So this is going to be a Gladiator Sport, Sport S package. And then he added the convenience group. Once again, bright white paint, comes with the slush mats. The MyFlex service plan is $225 actually. So I thought it was $170, it's $225. This one comes to $46,685. So about $5,000 more for that. And that was with convenience group and the Sport S. So you're getting adaptive cruise control, you're getting all that other features, plus the convenience of heated seats, heated steering wheel, remote start, all that. So for $5,000 more, I don't think that's too bad. Let's go to the Mojave, or actually no, here's not to the Mojave, I paused. Let's go to the Willys. So we built out a Willys here, a very popular package, bright white paint and convenience group, and he added a black 3-piece hardtop. I'm not sure if you have to. That one comes to $51,585. So I don't know, that seems a little bit higher than it was, but there was a couple things added to it. So, but $51,585. And once again, these are just simple builds here. Rubicon, starting at $51,585. He added body color Rubicon Highline flares, body color 3-piece hardtop, convenience group, and then those necessary ones, and it comes to $57. But pretty neat that you can add, I didn't think you could add body color flares last year. $495 again.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
thought it was standard though.
On the X it is. This is a regular Rubicon.
I thought on the Wrangler it was standard.
Or the Gladiators, some of like the Willys, they come standard with color match fenders, and the Sport S, I believe. But on the Rubicons, they come with black ones. But it's kind of neat. I wonder if they're coming back to that, because I know the CEO said, if somebody wants to order Mojito fender flares, why can't they? Because they took that away, remember? On my Jeep back in 22, I could order high velocity paint match fender flares just as a standalone, and then they took it all away. Now it seems like it's coming back. So that one came to $57,860 on that. And once again, this is without any discounts or anything. Rubicon X with basically no options and a white paint comes to $63,975. That sounds cheaper. I remember the Rubicon X's were pushing like 67.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, and that's loaded up without any discounts. So, and then the one I was interested in, I'm starting to look around at some Mojaves here. A bright white Mojave, no options besides the MyFlex service plan, $53,805. So, and then with discounts, you're probably in upper 40s for that. Let's see, I think he built out one more. Oh, and then a Mojave X comes to basically the same as a Rubicon X, $63,805. I think that's almost identical. $63,805 for the Mojave X and $63,975. So they're within $150 for a Rubicon X versus a Mojave X. You just got to decide, do you want the hood and the better suspension, or do you want the front locker, the transfer case, you know, disconnecting sway bar? So that's pretty cool. I love Anthony, really appreciate that for building those out so we can kind of see where they're at. It seems like the prices have gone down a little bit. What I would say is look around at a 25, find one comparable, and then see if you can get a better deal on a 2026 order. Plus, it's going to come in, I would say the job one for these to start building them is not going to be maybe in a month or so.
I think you're going to see them by November.
I would say, yeah, they're going to start showing up, depending if you get an oddball one. I mean, I've heard horror stories of people waiting 6 months, or like you waited 3 weeks for yours at one time. So it really depends. Our Gladiator came in 3-4 weeks. Yeah, the Juice one came in really quick. But either way though, guys, I would expect some sort of press release here within the next few weeks. Maybe by the Detroit Auto Show. That's where actually it's funny, that's where they showed Purple Rain 2 years ago, and we were the first people to actually film that, put it out on camera. So I would expect something to come out. They've got to do some sort of marketing before Q4. Deliveries, I'd imagine, would start in Q4 as they're starting to slow down the 2025 production. But either way, we will wait and see. And of course, anything that we see on the back end or we see in the news, we will let you guys know, especially any Hemi powertrains. I just read, actually, there's a sidebar that they're putting a supercharged Hemi in a Ram 1500. So a more heavy horsepower. They're competing with the Ford because Ford was doing like a base F-150 supercharged Coyote. So it kind of seems like we're getting head-to-head muscle cars again, which happened back in the 60s and 70s, which that might be pretty cool. So either way though, guys, we've been having a lot of fun with these. If you haven't seen, we've got brand new merch live on the website too. Thank you guys for ordering that, for ordering the light kits. We are working on a couple new products too. Don't worry, JK guys, for the light kits, the brackets, that's the final samples for the test brackets, shipped out from Kentucky. I should have them like middle of next week, and we're gonna be testing them on some local JKs here. So very excited for that. And you guys are worth the wait because you might have more features than the JL guys. Surprise, surprise, an older Jeep with more features. But thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna jump in the Jeep, head down the road and go to Sands and talk to Anthony and see what we can figure out behind the scenes and maybe get you guys even more news in the future. We were able to check out a beautiful 93 YJ the other day. Ryan, maybe throw up one photo of that thing. You guys are not gonna wanna miss that one. A really cool video on a very low mileage kind of survivor Jeep. So either way, Ryan's behind the camera, I'm here talking to you, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.